thank all of you for coming today, and thanks to my panelists on the first session. I think, like I said in my initial note as well, misuse of rape laws disturbs me a lot. It is a reality, as we have discussed. As a woman, I feel terrible to even think that something as heinous as rape can be reduced to a joke. And Justice Lalit also shared, and Sadhna ma'am, you have also said in your judgments that false rape cases are a travesty of justice. It just does not impact the men who are falsely accused, but also harm the genuine survivors. मैम आपने अपनी जजमेंट्स में भी ये कहा है कि कैसे फॉल्स रेप केसेस इम्पैक्ट कर रहे हैं आज के सोसाइटी को. मैम आप क्या देखती हैं अगर आज के समय पे कोई चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस नहीं आए, व्हाट डू यू थिंक विल हैपन एंड हाउ डू यू थिंक false rape cases are impacting the society, and how can this be addressed, Sadhna ma'am? Do you think there is problem only with the police for doing wrong investigations, or that they don't care? Or do you think that the judiciary also needs to take cognizance of this and take some preventive measures? Where do you see this going, Sadhna ma'am?
Good morning, everyone. In one of my judgment, I said that rape is not just an injury to the body, but it is an injury to the soul of the survivor. Now think the reverse of it. Why did I start with this? If it is not just a physical injury and an injury to the soul of the very womanhood, whether false accusations of rape do not impact the man as well in the same manner. Because a false accusation of rape also humiliates his very masculinity. Think of the person who is a married man, just as he said that the children ask you, what is the meaning of rape and what has my father done? So to answer the question which Ms. Deepika has asked me, what I think is the very concept of presumption in favor of the innocence of women, or applying the Mathura case overall, should be looked from a different point of view as well. Because there we say that whatever a woman says would be gospel truth, and no more evidence is necessary to corroborate. But the times have changed. Many a times in the earlier days, people used to say, why would a woman humiliate herself? Why would she expose herself to social obloquy by casting false aspersions on any man for whatsoever? But now the days have changed. ऐसे नहीं कि ये पहले कभी हुआ नहीं था, ये हुआ था पहले भी, लेकिन इस लार्ज स्केल पे तो ज़रूर नहीं हुआ था. And you are asking as to what could be the solution. The first solution would be is the judiciary and the investigation agencies. They should first give away the presumption of always holding that a woman is fragile, a woman will always tell the truth, why would she speak a lie? There could be many motives. And here we have to look at it as what is gender neutral law. So that gender bias, कि ये वुमन है वो क्यों झूठ बोलेगी कि मुझे किसी ने रेप किया है? The question by the investigation agency, the society, as well as the judiciary, I would say, should be why not? Instead of just asking why, always also ask why not? The possibility is always there. So therefore, looking at it without any bias, and organizations like AM Nyay, Ekam Nyay, that could help, but how much? Today, are we having in this conference only people who are impacted by false accusations, or we are also having people who are trying to avoid the future? Both. That is the right answer. Like just as the introducer said, I don't want my daughters to misuse the law. So a conclave like this is necessary for thinking of the next generation also. So let us not have any gender bias, and for this, what is necessary is just awakening, making people realize that when a man is accused, just like the woman, it's not only he alone, it is his family. Forget the society. What about the family? What is the fault of his wife, his children, his parents most of all? Many a times the parents would curse that why have we given birth to such a person who must have not respected the femininity of a woman. The mother would always think that way. So why not save the society by changing the very outlook of the society? And for that, such conferences are always necessary. And all
Thanks.
this should be included in the police workshops,
Yes, ma'am.
as well as, I would say, as a part of the judiciary which I was, I would say that even when the magistrates, the lower judiciary is being inducted into the system, there should be more and more talks on this also, about having a gender neutral outlook.
Sadhna ma'am, very quickly, one more thing I would like to ask you, Sadhna ma'am. So, there was a judge, we were talking about this yesterday, ma'am, Judge Virender Bhatji. He had passed some really good judgments and punished the rapists as well as said some very practical, truthful statements in false rape cases. Unfortunately, what happened was that a lot of women's rights activists rallied against him and he was sent for gender sensitization training, which is so unfortunate. Now we are seeing there is a judge, honorable judge in Lucknow, who is now prosecuting people who are filing false cases, whether rape cases or SC/ST cases, prosecuting them under 182(2)11. Do you think that's the way forward? Do you think it is very important now to punish the people who are filing false cases, ma'am? Yes. It's working.
I'll just share with what happened to me also as a judge. So there was a case, from this you all can get the answer. There was a case of bail under 376 where the victim came in the court before me and she told me, ki, Ladyship, please grant bail to this boy. And I was surprised because the prosecutor was fighting tooth and nail. So then I told the prosecutor, don't speak, let me speak to her. So I asked her from the dais itself as to, you have filed such a horrible case, and how can you say that please grant him bail? So then she said, Ladyship, nothing of this sort had happened. And in fact, we were in love with each other. I behaved badly. And he told me that I will not marry you in any circumstances. I tried to request him. I begged pardon, but he wouldn't listen. And therefore, the best thing was, I met my uncle, who happens to be in the police, and I went and filed a rape case, and nothing of this sort has happened. At that stage, I just told her, okay, I will grant bail to the boy, but why should I not prosecute you under section 193, where false accusations are made in such a way that someone might be punished for 7 years or more than 7 years. So I said, all right, then you need to be prosecuted. You may not believe, but all the newspapers had this, that Justice Jadhav is asking prosecution against a rape survivor. People who did not know what has actually happened in the court were actually asking me, can you do this being a woman? How can you prosecute a young girl for filing a case of rape? So this is how the society looks at it. And now time has come. Because see, in cases of rape, let me apprise all of you. People on the dais, of course, know about it. The moment the FIR is filed and they give the copy of the FIR, the girls get compensation of up to 25,000 or so. You all may be knowing the quantum.
It's
I
much
know,
more,
yes.
ma'am. It's much more.
Charge sheet is filed, they get 50,000. The case succeeds, they get 1 lakh. Now look at it from the point of view of false accusations. If the accusations turn out to be false and the man is acquitted, does the state give any compensation? Is there any provision in law? There's no provision.
No, absolutely
There's no
not.
provision in law
Yes.
as such. So why not? The victim turns hostile. Whether it is not the duty of the state to find out why she has turned hostile, or should we always say that she has turned hostile because of coercion, because of social pressure? Why that? So I'm not saying that the man gets compensation, but at least have a different outlook towards the man who has been there I would call a man also a survivor. Why,
Yes, ma'am.
why just
Absolutely.
the victim?
Absolutely.
The man is also a survivor of false accusations.
Absolutely, ma'am.
So a time has come that, like she gave the example, or even you said, that the girl had filed 9 rape cases against different people. She is not arrested. Why are we having this gender bias?
Yep.
So somewhere there needs to be an amendment so that such false accusations are not made. I have all the sympathy for the women, for the girl survivors, because I know it happens. It's not that it doesn't happen. This is the truth. But then I think the earlier generations were expressing their masculinity so much that the presumption is going against the present generation. So that may be one of the view of the society.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Satyaprakash, sir.